And hello, race fans, and welcome here to the Jukasa Speedway, the site of race number 8 for the return of the WRLA Menard Truck Series. It is the Skittles 200 for the first time in WRLA Menard Truck Series history since 2017. We are going racing outside of the States and in Canada, actually, located, I believe, if we actually look at the track facts here in just a little bit, before we review our starting lineup, we would notice that this track more than likely is going to be at least right around the Ontario area, but I could always be fact checked if need be. But nonetheless, we're here at the Jukasa Speedway for race number 8, practically the halfway mark of the Menard's Truck Series season. As always, I'm Elijah Leonard here with you to bring you the action from here at Jukasa. And this has actually been a pretty interesting season, to say the least. For those that were not with us the previous race, we were at the Michigan International Speedway, and it was Billy Kidd that managed to take home the victory in a very chaotic race at the Michigan International Speedway, and nabbed his first Menard's Truck Series win, as has obviously several drivers have been able to do throughout the Menard's Truck Series season. Of course, tomorrow, the NOS Energy Cup Series will be making their return at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, but that's besides the point. A little bit of a random fact right there. But regardless of that, the Truck Series will be racing here for the first time ever in Menard's Truck Series history. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, because I'm just excited to get this race going. I'm ready to get it underway. So with that said, why don't we go ahead and review your point standings coming into this weekend here at the Jukasa Speedway. It is still Michael Davis that holds on to the points lead. Following in second position is Emmanuel Hartnett, who is third in the point standings, running, or at least second in the point standings. Third is the number 33 of Michael DeFeo, currently the highest running driver in the division that is yet to score a win. Tyler Ferris currently fourth in the standings with 169. Then you have Wayne Lopez, our winner from Las Vegas. He rounds out your top 5. And then you have Noah Chastow in 6th with 162. Joshua Cornish is 7th with 156. 1 point back is with 155 points. That is Chris Reynolds. Foster Henderson is Reynolds is 8th. Foster Henderson is 9th with 153. And then Ronald House completes your top 10 with 152 points to his credit. And then you have a look at the rest of your point standings. Right there, you got Jesse Turner, our winner from Charlotte, currently 11th in the point standings. Our Michigan winner from back in mid-June, that is Billy Kidd. Currently, that jumped it. That gave him a good leap up in the point standings. He is currently 12th. With 149 points to his name. Our winner from Minnesota, Haley Tullis, starting just inside of the top 10 in truck number 81. She is currently 16th with 139 points. And then you have our Indianapolis winner from the Indiana Bash, that being Liam Davis, currently 20th with 136 points. He should be breaking the tie between Eli Bright and Harley Higdon with that win that he currently has. And definitely going to be a very fun one. Then you have a look at the bottom of your points bracket. You got Max Anderson, some drivers that honestly I feel like could have some really good turnarounds here for this season, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for it. Max Anderson is down here along with Bradley Ream, who's starting on the pole here for tonight. Alex Richards with 106. He is the lowest driver currently with the triple digits in the point standings. And then you have the last 3 drivers that are still in single digits for the season. Bryce Egan with 96, Elijah Gordon with 90, and then Chase McClure with 83 points. Definitely a so far this season has just not really been up to par for some of those drivers, and definitely very unfortunate. By the way, before we do reveal the starting lineup, we want to thank Shay for those biddies. Do greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you're having yourself a fantastic start to your weekend, and so glad that everybody could be here to witness WRLA Menards Truck Series racing from here at the Jukasa Speedway. Let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup and actually take a look at the track info. But obviously, as you can see, this is a 0.6 mile oval, well, 0.5 mile, just about 2/3 of a mile short track. Opened in 2017, and obviously got the new pavement with the corners being banked 8.5 degrees, and then the straights 3.5. So definitely going to be a very fun one to watch here at Jukasa. Let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup. It is 3 Thor Sport trucks that occupy the podium positions. Bradley Ream on the pole position, and then Carson Green lining up alongside Carter Friesen starting in 3rd, and then you have Alex Richards in the 4th spot. In row 3, you got Bryce Egan and Ronald House, Haley Tullis and Sarah Taylor in the 4th row. Row number 5, you got Tyler Ferris and Carson Miller. He completes your top 10. Our winner from Galesburg in the WRLA Hoosier Summer Tour just back on the 4th of July. And then you have Shauna Martin, Max Anderson, Foster Henderson, Bruno Diacomo, Harley Higdon, Chris Reynolds, Chase McClure, Noah Chistow, Wayne Lopez, and Michael Davis are points leader starting in the 20th spot. He's going to have his work cut out for him. And then you got Noah Clifton, Billy Kidd, Eli Bright, Liam Davis, Elijah Gordon, Samet Oskin, Joshua Cornish, Michael DeFeo, and then our row 15, you see, I can't even speak anymore because yeah, my brain's kind of shutting down for whatever reason. But row 15, you got Jesse Turner and Emmanuel Hartnett. David Byers and Wyatt Walker make up the 16th row. And then our 33rd and final starter is Kelsey Higdon. The reason why we have 33 trucks here at Jukasa is, well, that's what the track basically holds. That's the amount of trucks that this track can hold. The other 3 drivers that were initially scheduled to make their starts here for tonight, if I actually go back and take a look at that list, the drivers that would have been able to start here for tonight were the 07 of Russell Blaze, the 12 of Addison Jarrell, and the number 20 of Eric Monaco. However, obviously with the limit being 33 trucks, we had to go with the top 3. So that kind of just screwed over Blaze, Jarrell, and also Monaco, unfortunately. So we'll definitely see Monaco and Russell Blaze tomorrow night when we go WRLA NOS Energy Cup racing at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. And definitely should be a very fun one. And as we get ready to go here at Jukasa, oh my goodness, we are lagging. We are absolutely lagging here, folks. Do want to apologize for that. And we're probably going to do Ooh, yeah. Drivers, that's definitely not good. So just give us 1 second, and we're definitely going to get things reset and ready to go from here at Jukasa. Of course, we want to say hello to Pash and also Phoenix for tuning on in. And hopefully y'all are having yourselves a fantastic start to y'all's weekend. Just a little bit of some technical issues here. We do want to apologize for those. And and again, we're really happy that you guys could be here to celebrate. Well, not just to celebrate, but also to witness the return of the Menards Truck Series for their 8th race of the season. And we're definitely getting this party ready to go from here at the Jukasa Speedway. And might I add, this is going to be very fun. 150 laps of short track racing out in Canada. It's definitely going to be fun. The drivers are strapped into their trucks. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up. But in order to get these 33 trucks rolling on track, we got to get the command to fire the engines. So let's go trackside and get just that.
Drivers, start your engines!
And here we go. Engines are fired. Pace truck is rolling off, and so are these 33 competitors. And ladies and gentlemen, they're not going to waste any time whatsoever. Bradley Ream and Carson Green, two Thor Sport trucks that have not had the best of seasons. Carson Green has come close several times to getting the job done, and he has definitely expressed some emotions when it comes to trying to get a win here in the Truck Series. Tonight could be the night. He starts outside pole alongside his teammate of Bradley Ream. Here we go, green flag, and we're racing to Jukasa. And around the outside goes the 99 of Carson Green, and he rockets to the point on lap number 1, and he's going to pick up that first bonus point for leading the first lap of the night here at the Jukasa Speedway. Bradley Ream, our pole sitter, is going to slip into the second position, and then our third place starter, Carter Friesen, well, he's in a tight battle with the number 52 of Alex Richards for that third spot. And meanwhile, look over here. We got some 3-wide action taking place with Haley Tullis up top, Max Sanderson in the number 38 in the middle, and Harley Higdon in the 31 down on the inside line. And we're 3-wide a little bit further back. That's Chris Reynolds in the 26 stuck in the middle of a 3-wide situation with Bruno Diacomo up top. And then Noah Clifton in the number 66 down on the inside. Clifton we'll see tomorrow night when we go to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park for the NOS Energy Cup Series, and Wyatt Walker, who is starting at the back end of the field, and we'll see him tomorrow as well. He's starting to pick his way through the tail end of the field. You also have Emmanuel Hartnett, runner-up in points back here, along with Michael DeFeo, who is third in the standings, as they are fighting for the 32nd position. And they are 3-wide right in front of the top two, the other 2 out of the 3 drivers that are up there in the point standings, second and third. But meanwhile, it has all been Carson Green, who has led the opening 5 laps since the drop of the green flag. Bradley Ream is tucked in second. Richards third, and then Carter Friesen in fourth. The fight for fifth is on, as here comes the number 34 of Bryce Egan to the inside of Ronald House. And the number 41, that is for the 5th position. And just behind them, we have another battle going on for track position. That's for 7th. You have Foster Henderson in the 75, down to the inside of Shauna Martin in the 76. That is for the 7th position. It looks like Shauna is going to be able to retain that around the outside on the exit of turn number 2. And then the battle for 9th is taking place with Harley Higdon in the number 31, trying to get around the inside of the 45 of Tyler Ferris. And the 71 of Carson Miller, who is also taking part in the WRLA Hoosier Summer Tour. He won at Galesburg Speedway back on the 4th of July in a little bit of a shortened race. Obviously with the power being cut out, if you will. And currently running just outside of the top 10 in the 11th position. So right now, all that short track time that he's been getting so far is kind of paying off for Carson Miller. I could definitely say the same for Tyler Ferris in the 45. He has been able to use that outside groove to his advantage, just trying to stay out ahead of Harley Higdon in the 31. Ooh, Carson Miller once again going a little bit wide off into turns 3 and 4. But Miller kind of riding by his lonesome in that 11th spot. Kind of just sitting pretty right where he's at. You know, a little bit comfortable in that 11th spot. He's got no traffic around him other than this fight that's going on for the 10th position, or for 9th right in front of him. Ferris just absolutely using that outside line to his advantage, as is the 76 of Shauna Martin in her battle for that 7th spot. Meanwhile, let's look further in the back. You got Noah Clifton in truck number 66 down to the inside of Haley Tullis in the number 81. That would be the battle for the 12th spot. Tullis is going to get that over Noah Clifton. But again, Clifton on the offense down on the inside, as he's going to try to use that inside lane to his advantage. And this track is plenty wide to make it, especially to make these sort of moves, you know, because here at Jukasa, I mean, these turns definitely do sweep around quite a ways, because you can wrap the bottom pretty good. You can also come back up against the wall just as good. So as of right now, these drivers are minding their P's and Q's, and they are clean and green with now 16 laps complete. There's Wayne Lopez, our Las Vegas winner, truck number 1, currently riding in that 14th position. Max Anderson trying to fend off Eli Bright. Both drivers over in the WRLA Hoosier Summer Tour. Max Anderson just came off of winning last night at Dells Raceway Park over in Wisconsin. So far, Anderson definitely getting a good amount of momentum on his side over in the Hoosier Summer Tour, and trying to muster up that same momentum and trying to carry it over here in the Menard Truck Series, hoping that something good could come out of it. Maybe could win here tonight. So far, he's still in that side-by-side fiasco with Eli Bright for that 15th position, but look at that. The 0-2 of Bright just ran wide through turns 3 and 4, and then that's what allowed Anderson to clear Bright for that 15th position. Mid-pack, Jesse Turner in the 2 to the inside of our previous winner at Michigan. That's Billy Kidd in the 44. Getting over and getting down and around Kidd for that 17th spot so far. I mean, Kidd was able to get it across the stripe. Or at least, sorry, that was actually Jesse Turner in the 2. I do want to correct myself there. That could get it across the stripe, or at least I got it across the stripe. But now Billy Kidd was able to edge ahead on the front straightaway and was able to pick up that 17th position and take it right back and clear Turner momentarily. But look at that 2 right back on the attack and down to the inside as they head back down into turn 1. For those that are just now tuning in, this is the site of our 8th race of the season for the WRLA Menards Truck Series out here in Jukasa Speedway in Canada. It is Carson Green and truck number 99 who has led since the drop of the green flag. He started outside pole in this race, and he managed to use the outside line to his advantage to get around pole sitter Bradley Ream in the 88 to take over the race lead, and this is where he's been ever since. 24 laps complete. And Bradley Ream currently running in the 2nd position. In 3rd is the 52 of Alex Richards. In 4th is Carter Freese, and Ronald House rounds out your top 5. Then in 6th is Bryce Egan. And these are the 6 trucks that have broken away from the rest of the other drivers that are fighting side by side for position. So this is what's currently going on up here, or at least back here for that is. For position. Shauna Martin currently scored in 7th, trying to fight for that 7th spot from Foster Henderson, who's currently sitting in 8th. Then back here in 9th, that is Tyler Ferris, who's trying to fight off Harley Higdon, who currently sits in the 10th position. And that completes your top 10 so far, with now 27 laps complete from here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. And Haley Tullis trying to do, she's still in that side-by-side fight with Noah Clifton, what looks to be for that 12th spot. And so far, Clifton's been able to get that inside line to work, but got to get it across the stripe. Off of turn number 4, he definitely got a good launch off of 4 to capture that 12th position, but it will be Tullis with the preferred line off of turn number 2. He's going to get that good drive off on corner exit, but Clifton, again, using the inside to his advantage. The question will be, can Clifton actually complete that pass? Do apologize real quick. All right. But as you just saw right there, Haley Tullis got a little distracted, by the way, but Haley Tullis just cleared Noah Clifton to retain that 12th position, and now she's starting to drive away and set her sights on Carson Miller in truck number 71. As everybody now is starting to get themselves into a little bit of a single file rhythm. At least top 6 have done so, but still got a little bit of side-by-side action going on up here. Obviously, Shauna Martin, Foster Henderson, they're still duking it out for that 7th position. Wayne Lopez and now Max Anderson are going to go at it for the 14th position. Anderson on the inside, Lopez on the outside. And then just behind them, Billy Kidd and Eli Bright are starting to fight it out. Looks to be for the 16th position. Lopez going to be able to use the outside line to his advantage, get that good drive off into the corner. But now here comes Max Anderson back down on the inside. He's going to draw up alongside, heading through turns 1 and 2. Going to carry that momentum down the back straightaway, at least to try to draw even. But it is Lopez with the run off of corner exit. And then Max Anderson pulls it back together through turns 3 and 4 and keeps it pretty interesting between the two. They are about dead even, almost dead even down the front straightaway. Lopez edging ahead. He's going to clear Max Anderson momentarily, but here comes Anderson. Going to draw back down to the left rear quarter panel of the tailgate of the one of Lopez. This is actually some pretty good stuff that we're witnessing here, at least for the fight for the 14th spot. Lopez gets that good drive off, and he's been able to use that momentum to carry him all the way down into turn 3 and clear Max Anderson, and mission accomplished for the moment. And up front, Noah Clifton trying it again. Getting to the inside of Haley Tullis, and he's gonna be able to get that spot across the stripe. As up front, Ferris is finally cleared. Obviously, Ferris a few laps ago finally cleared Marion Judicia, or not Marion Judicia, Harley Higdon in the 31. And now here comes Carson Miller to try to knock on the door to get inside of the top 10, heading back down into turn 1. And we're going to go 3 wide, what looks to be for that 8th position, or for that 9th spot. Not so fast there. Looks like Harley Higdon's going to give that spot over to Carson Miller. So he moves up into 10th. Now he's going to try to set his sights on Tyler Ferris for the 9th position, but don't look now. Here comes Harley Higdon, or at least I thought so. I thought she was going to try to use that outside line to her advantage, but not the case whatsoever. Going to stay glued, or at least stay glued into the tire tracks of Miller. And while that happens, the fight for 14th is back on again. Back down into turn 1. Anderson using the inside line to his advantage. He's going to he just barely missed out. Just barely missed out. On that 13th, or that 14th spot rather, Billy Kidd in the 44. Looks like he's trying to knock on the door, maybe try to drop alongside, potentially make it 3 wide if he's able to get a chance, but so far hasn't been able to do so. But Anderson and Lopez still fighting it out for that 14th position. Let's go a little bit further back. Jesse Turner trying to get to the inside of Chris Reynolds in the 26. So far, going to be able to draw a nose alongside of the Rackley War Machine. And then you have two EGI trucks fighting it out around mid-pack. This is for 20th. That's Joshua Cornish in the 17 and Kelsey Higdon in the 15. Higdon around the outside. Cornish on the inside in the JBL colors. And here comes Cornish back down on the inside. And Cornish, for those that may not know, that Joshua Cornish is going back to full-time NOS Energy Cup racing in 2027 for EGI. And definitely going to be pretty awesome to see Cornish back in NOS Energy Cup Series action. He currently has one win on his resume in the NOS Energy Cup Series. That came at Phoenix in 2020. Just before COVID broke out. How about this, though? Michael DeFeo in the number 33. He was in the back with Emmanuel Hartnett for a while. Hartnett still running in 30th. Well, in the meantime, Michael DeFeo, he's been able to take full advantage of a pretty good truck. And he has moved himself into 23rd and going after the 98 of Chase McClure for the 22nd position. And another thing to also point out, Wyatt Walker in the number 56 has vowed, at least he initially planned on not returning to the Truck Series part-time for next year, but he decided, you know what, screw it. I'm going to come back to the Truck Series next year. And now here he is, currently running inside of the top 25, being contested by Samet Oskin for the 24th position. But Wyatt Walker definitely doing pretty well for his standards here in the Truck Series. He definitely, this is definitely a season that that Walker would love to forget in trucks. And as far as the NOS Energy Cup Series, as an owner, he definitely is. Definitely is loving what he sees. Of course, just a few weeks ago, Walker Family Motorsports went back to victory lane at Michigan with Abby Walker carrying the Greg Biffle colors. Of course, Greg Biffle wound up passing away, unfortunately, in a plane crash last December. And of course, the Biffle family are still in our thoughts and prayers, and they're still in our thoughts and in our hearts. And of course, we race to be like Biff. And this last race at Jukasa, or at Michigan for the NOS Energy Cup Series, it has been, I mean, it's been absolutely remarkable to see the success that Walker Family Motorsports saw with Abby Walker going to victory lane, and then Terry Walker finishing inside of the top 10. CG Halt also had himself a pretty good race as well. He finished inside of the top 10 too. So Walker Family Motorsports definitely getting things a little bit turned around. Let's see, and we'll definitely see if they'll be able to carry that momentum heading into Canadian Tire Motorsports Park tomorrow night. One can only hope. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The field, the lead pack has caught the tail end of the field. You got points leader Michael Davis in the 18 right in front of Carson Green, who has led every lap thus far with 56 laps complete. And this might open up the door for the 88. You just saw Bradley Ream try to draw up alongside his own teammate for the top position. And while all that's happening, you got Alex Richards in the 52. Now making it a 3-horse fight for the top spot. But Richards went pretty wide there going through turn 3. That messed up his corner exit in turn 4. That might open up the door for the 13 of Carter Friesen to make something happen. This is a home race for him as far as the country of Canada. And here we go. Up front, Green now going to start lapping Michael Davis. our winner from Martinsville. And then just up ahead is our Indiana Bash winner, Liam Davis, trying to get around the number 30 of Noah Shestow, trying to at least lessen his chances of going a lap down. But so far, Shestow is putting up a fight with Liam Davis. 60 laps complete, coming to 61 complete, and 89 rather laps to go from here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway, closing in on the halfway mark. And again, for those that are just now tuning in, we have been caution free since the drop of the green flag. It has been Carson Green who has been who started on the outside pole, managed to take the lead away from the outside lane, and he's been leading ever since then. It has been the top 6 that have broken away from the rest of the pack, and now they've caught the tail end of the field, and Green trying to put our points leader, Michael DeFeo, a lap down. While up front, Liam Davis, at least further up front, Liam Davis still trying to fight Noah Shestow to get around him. So that way he could be one spot ahead and still try to be the last truck on the lead lap. But so far, Michael Davis has definitely been doing a pretty good job of holding off Carson Green, but you can only do that for so long. Green now going to try to put a lap on Michael Davis, but Davis just barely holding on across the stripe. But this time, that is going to allow him, or at least Green, going to try to clear the 18 of Michael Davis. Well, back here, fight for the second spot is on, with Alex Richards to the inside of Bradley Ream for the runner-up spot. Fight for fourth is on as well. It's a 3-horse race for this 4th position. Carter Friesen trying to retain it. Ronald House and Bryce Egan are looking for it. Seems like just catching up to the tail end of the field is where finally these drivers were like, you know what? We're going to be side by side. We might as well just go ahead and race this thing out. Friesen now under attack from Ronald House. They're double file down the front straightaway, but Friesen going to be able to retain that 4th position momentarily. And then you got Bradley Ream still trying to fight off Alex Richards for the runner-up spot. And Carson Green still having a little bit of issues trying to get around the points leader, Michael Davis. I keep trying to say Michael DeFeo, but it's actually Michael Davis who is the points leader. DeFeo currently, as of right now, is running 23rd still on the lead lap. A little bit further up ahead, you got Emmanuel Hartnett in the 7 trying to get around Bruno Diacomo in that black and yellow machine, truck number 9. But Diacomo definitely holding on around the outside. And he will be able to retain what looks to be the 29th position over Emmanuel Hartnett. This is kind of unfortunate that Emmanuel Hartnett's at least this season for him has kind of taken a turn. And I want to say this does date back to Indianapolis. Given the fact that he was running pretty well at Indy and then unfortunately got taken out in a crash about late in the going through turn number 4. And that's kind of what set off this downward spiral for Emmanuel Hartnett. But it is the midpoint of the season. Anything could potentially happen, and who knows? We might see Emmanuel Hartnett back in victory lane before this season is all said and done. And he is still in the points conversation, so who knows? We could see Hartnett back in the points lead and still in that championship conversation when we go to Homestead in just a few months, because after tonight it'll be 7 races to go in the Menard Truck Series season, so there is still a lot to be done. A lot of racing to go here in the Menard Truck Series. And speaking of racing, Alex Richards trying it again on Bradley Ream as they head back down into turn number 1. But Ream with that great run on corner exit is going to be able to retain that runner-up spot over Richards. And Carter Friesen going to pull away from the 41 of Ronald House, who is now under attack from Bryce Egan in the 34. We are past halfway in the Skittles 200 from here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. And amazingly, we have been caution-free all race long thus far. And oh, by the way, Carson Green is going to pick up those 5 bonus points for leading the most laps here tonight, since he has led more than half of this race. Still has about a 2/3 of a second lead thus far over Bradley Ream, but oh man, Carson Green just went really wide through turns 1 and 2. That may be an opportunity cooking up for Bradley Ream as he pulls up to the back bumper of the 99. Back into 1. And look at the Davis brother. Look at the Davises. Looks like they're trying to fight it out to stay on the lead lap. This is the fight for 31st. Michael Davis trying to get by Liam Davis. Obviously, it hasn't been a good night for Davis Family Racing when you look at the 18 and the 19. But the 81 has definitely been running pretty stout as of right now, with Haley Tallis currently running in that 12th spot. They've been doing a very nice job. Meanwhile, up front, race for the lead is on. Here comes Bradley Ream to the inside of Chase McClure. He wasn't able to lead that lap, but boy, oh boy, it got close. And they're still side by side for the top spot. But Green holding on around the outside, but Bradley Reams pulling up alongside yet again. Not as close that time. Ream was able to draw up to the left rear quarter panel of Green's truck. Heading back down into turn 3 yet again. Looks like Carson. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Actually, not this time. I genuinely thought for a moment that Carson Green was not going to be able to lead that lap. But somehow, some way, Green got a good run on corner exit. He's been able to hold on to the race lead ever since. But here comes Ream to the inside. He draws ahead. Can he lead the lap? Yes, he can. New race leader. It's Bradley Ream in the 88. Just narrowly led that lap over Carson Green. But Green using the outside line to his advantage. He goes wide through turns 3 and 4. And now Ream is going to be able to clear Carson Green for that top spot. But Green right back on the attack in the 99 machine. Heading down the back straightaway. Going to draw ahead going into the 3rd corner. But I think this is where Bradley Ream is going to have Carson Green cleared, or can't, or will he? Green fighting back around the outside, and behind them, Richards and Friesen fighting it out for the 3rd position. And boy, the Davises are loving what they see in their rear view mirrors as they're seeing the 2 leaders duke it out. Carter Friesen has now jumped back up into the 3rd spot, so this is going to be a 3-horse fight for Thor Sport Racing trucks. At least 3 of them inside of the top 5. That last lap, it was pretty close between Green and Ream for the top position as they come off of turn number 4. Carson Green going to lead that lap from the outside line. So the momentum starting to shift back into the favor of the 99. But Friesen in the 13 runs wide, and that opens up the door for the 52 of Alex Richards to drive back to the inside. And now that 99 of Carson Green finally going to get ahead of the 88 of Ream Heading back off of 2, back into the third corner. Now this 99 is going to have the 88 cleared. This time around, Ream's going to draw to the left rear quarter panel yet again, or at least attempt to. He will have it going into turn 1. And just behind them, here comes Lane, or not Lane Riggs, sorry. It's actually Bryce Egan. Wrong driver. Right track, wrong driver. But nonetheless, Egan trying to get back down to the inside of Carter Friesen for the 4th position. Heading back through turn number 2. The leaders are still side by side for the top position as they head back down into turn number 3. Less than 60 laps of racing to go. And boy, oh boy, this is actually some pretty good stuff that we're seeing here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. Richards in the 52s trying to close in on this battle for the top spot as they come off of 2. Heading back into the third corner yet again. Boy, one of these times, Bradley Ream is going to be able to clear. And I mean fully clear. Carson Green. But Green's been able to hang on around the outside. And now here comes the 52 of Alex Richards. At least try to make an attempt, but you just saw that right there. With Bradley Ream just absolutely mashing the gas. Midway through turns 3 and 4. It'll be 50 laps of racing to go from here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. In another 5 laps time. And it is amazing to me that we have been caution free this entire race up to this point. There's still double file back behind the leaders and also Richards, with Bryce Egan still trying to go after Carter Friesen for that 4th position. Ronald House in the 41 just looking on. But it's kind of a similar dance to what's going on with the leaders, but it's just for the 4th position. The Davises still side by side, while the rest of the pack pulls away from these 2 trucks. This is all, I mean, there's been 2 different battles that have gone on here. I mean, while Ream and Green are fighting it out for the top spot, it has allowed the Davises to pull away. And while the Davises were fighting for the 32nd rather, the rest of the field had managed to check out from these 2 trucks. Well, these 2 trucks were checking out from these 2. Next time by, it'll be 50 laps of racing to go from here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. Alex Richards thus far, actually hold up a second. Alex Richards in the 52, he is coming down to pit road. So we are seeing green flag pit stops take place. With 100 laps complete, Richards is amongst the first to come on down. Foster Henderson, also Wayne Lopez, and the 76 of Shauna Martin are in, along with the 2. Gordon is in. Michael Davis as well. Carter Friesen pits from the 3rd position. But never would I have expected this race to go caution-free for long enough to where we'd see green flag pit stops. Actually, very interesting stuff that we're seeing. Just past the 50 to go mark. All these pit stops currently being completed, and now Carson Green looks like he's going to surrender the top spot to Bradley Ream. He'll pit from the race lead, and this will give Bradley Ream the command of the race. Foster Henderson and as well as Tyler Ferris, they're currently duking it out for track position. As the rest of the field pits, you see Harley Higdon, Noah Clifton coming out, along with the 77 of Samet Oskin. And Bradley Ream in the 88 machine, I believe he is just Actually, he is staying out for, this is kind of interesting that he's staying out. I think he might stay out for a couple laps longer. Now, I would have to believe that Bradley Ream is going to signal that he is pitting this time. I stand corrected. Ream staying out for another lap. Billy Kidd currently running in the second position. Just about 13 seconds back. It's about half the length of this racetrack. Chastel coming on into pit road. And while all that's happening, I mean, this is actually kind of impressive. I mean, Billy Kidd in the 44 kind of is starting to eat into that lead just a little bit the longer that Bradley Ream stays out. And this is kind of an interesting strategy that Bradley Ream has taken here. I wonder if he knows if there's a caution that's about to come out. So maybe he's just trying to stretch this out for as long as he can, or he's trying to go until he runs out of gas or runs out of grip on the tires. I mean, it's still, regardless, it's quite impressive to see that Ream is still out on the racetrack. There are some drivers that did split this run in half, or at least that just pitted on lap 100, while others, they're staying out and they're still trying to manage their tires and manage their fuel, but mainly their tires for sure. As that lead miraculously is growing. Ream currently with a almost 14-second lead. And Billy Kidd, where is he, you ask? Well, he's right here. He's just coming off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. While our race leader, as Kidd is crossing the start-finish line now, Ream is making his way through turns 3 and 4. So Kidd is on the whole other end of the racetrack as of right now. At least a third of the way ahead of the 88. And then you got Max Anderson still running in second, or running in third rather. Then in fourth currently is 26 of Chris Reynolds. Eli Bright rounds out your top 5. Then it's Kelsey Higdon, Michael DeFeo, Wyatt Walker, Chase McClure, and Bruno Giacomo. That's your top 10. And meantime, Shauna Martin and others, they have finally caught the 88 on Bradley Ream. Now remember, Shauna Martin, everybody from Shauna Martin on back is on fresher tires. So now Martin going to get to the inside of the leader. 35 laps to go. These drivers know that Bradley Ream is on older tires, so they're going to try to get around him as quickly as possible. But I would have to believe, at some point, Bradley Ream is going to have to come on down to pit road. He can only stay out there for so long on that set of tires that he's currently on. But who knows? This call that Bradley Ream is currently on, it could potentially be the move of the race. Potentially. No guarantees on that though. There's Kidd in the 44. If things kind of go accordingly here, then there is a chance that Billy Kidd could go back-to-back here in the Menards Truck Series and become, I would believe, the first repeat winner of the season. I don't believe we've had a repeat winner at all this year in anything other than the Xfinity Series. Truck Series, I think we have 7 different winners, and in the NOS Energy Cup Series, we have 13 different winners. And wait a minute, caution is out. Caution flag waves. It was a crash on the back straightaway, and it's Bradley Ream. It was Bradley Ream. He just got the truck refired, and he's going to take the caution flag. I believe the moment we took our eyes off the ball, Bradley Ream was getting ready to come on down to pit road, and I would have to imagine that he wound up getting turned on the back straightaway. And there's just more than one set of tire tracks here, folks. We might have had a couple trucks spin on the back stretch. But finally, with now 119 laps complete, we have ourselves our first caution of the night. And the other drivers that did not pit, they are going to come on in and they're going to make their stops. So this may very well cycle the lead. I mean, it's going to cycle some drivers that pitted earlier back up towards the front of the field. Some, not all, as we currently have 12 trucks that are still in the lead lap. Now the 88 is going to break off and come on down the pit road. So this is going to cycle the lead over, I believe, to Billy Kidd. Everybody right now is currently going to be on the tail end of the lead lap. While they get all this situated and run into the back of one another, let's go ahead and review what happened that caused our first caution flag of the night, and hope and pray that the game does not crash as we go ahead and take a look at this replay of what happened to Bradley Ream that brought out our first caution of the night here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. And I would have to say this is pretty clear cut and dry. But Wayne Lopez, I would believe, was one of those that was on the fresh tires. And as looks like Ream was trying to come on down into the pits, or actually, no, wasn't even planning on it at all. Wayne Lopez, I think, just ran right into the back of the 88 and just spun him around. So I do stand corrected on what just happened. This was just a single truck spin for race leader Bradley Ream. He did surrender the top spot, and he is on pit road right now as we currently speak, making the trip into the pit lane, finally getting his service done, or at least he is about to. And this is going to cycle the top spot, what very well could be, back over to Billy Kidd in the number 44 machine. Remember, he did pit 4 tires along with other drivers that did not pit on that green flag run. We want to say hello to Arrow, and thank you so much for the 10 stream streak over on Twitch. Hopefully you're having yourself a great start to your weekend. And as for everyone else watching over on the Twitch side, thank you so much for being here. So glad that you could be here to witness the Menard Truck Series here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. And if this is your first exposure to the WRLA, the World Racing Legends Association, we want to welcome you. And hopefully you enjoy the action that you're seeing. Coming up tomorrow night, the WRLA NOS Energy Cup Series will be making their return at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. We haven't been there since 2023, and that will be the debut of Joshua Neely for Death Rider Racing. Potentially, if he is able to make the show tomorrow night, qualifying kicks off at 1 o'clock Eastern over on the WRLA YouTube channel, with the green flag dropping at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be live over here on Twitch. Lights are out on the pace truck. That signifies that we'll have 1 lap before we get back to green flag racing, and might have ourselves, I wouldn't say a little bit of confusion, but we're going to have a lot of trucks that are going to be on the tail end of the lead lap, with the exception of Noah Chastow, who is 1 lap down. So your race leader is going to be all the way back here. That's Billy Kidd in the 44, currently your race leader. That is then Chris Reynolds in second. Third is Max Anderson. Fourth is the 02 of Eli Bright. And Kelsey Higdon rounds out your top 5. And Carson Green, although he is not the race leader, unfortunately, he is going to be the guy that leads him back to green here at Jukasa with 26 laps to go. And while everybody else is going to stay out ahead of our race leader, Billy Kidd, currently in position to go back-to-back here in the Menard Truck Series. And he doesn't have a whole lot of competition behind him, while all of it is just ahead of him. He's going to get to the inside of Elijah Gordon in the number 11. You also got Chris Reynolds, who could potentially go for his first win here in the Menard Truck Series. Here comes Eli Bright to the inside of Max Anderson for third as they head back down into turn one. Anderson could potentially get his first win in the Menard Truck Series and go back-to-back with WRLA wins in general. Remember, he won last night at Dells Raceway Park in very chaotic fashion. But Anderson in trouble in the number 38 as now he's starting to drop back quite a ways. Michael DeFeo in the number 33 is up here and could have himself a good run here tonight. Going to be running inside of the top 5 here momentarily if he's able to get 2 birds with 1 stone. Meanwhile, Billy Kidd currently struggling to get around some of this other traffic as Elijah Gordon trying to get around Kidd on the outside to try to get back on the lead lap. This has also opened up the door for Eli Bright to move up into the runner-up spot. Another driver to shout out is Wyatt Walker in the 56. Currently contesting in for the 6th position. Currently running in 7th as of right now. And he will capture that 6th position from the 38 of Max Anderson. And Anderson is starting to drop like a rock. Meanwhile, up front, 20 laps to go for race leader Billy Kidd, who is at the back of this pack, while all the other drivers in front of him are on the tail end of the lead lap. But meantime, fight for the lead is on. Here comes Eli Bright to the inside. They're going to be side by side for the top spot. Give it over to Eli Bright in the 0-2 machine. Down on the inside. Going to try to clear the 44 for the top position. Kidd edges ahead. You got Kelsey Higdon in the 15. Looking to make it a 3-horse fight for the lead and potentially the win, but not so fast. Bright clears Kidd for the top spot. Is going to immediately go to work on Samet Oskin in the 77. He's going to get out of the way pretty quickly, Oskin will, and now he's going to go to work on Sarah Taylor in the 5. So now Eli Bright starting to open up a lead, open up a gap on the 44 Billy Kidd. Eli Bright has been a part of WRLA in the past. He drove for Cody Smart at one point for Smart Motorsports. Drove the number 12 Target Ford Fusion in 2020. Hasn't been around in WRLA since then, but has come back here in the Menard Truck Series for 2026. And we're looking forward to seeing what the plans for Eli Bright will be heading into 2027. Could potentially land himself a ride in the Xfinity Series. Who knows? He could come back to Cup. Anything is possible for the future of Eli Bright. So far, he could potentially nab his first win here in the Menards Truck Series. He is currently 2/3 of a second ahead of the 44 of Billy Kidd. But Bright runs wide to the corner. That allows Sarah Taylor to get to the inside. Remember, Sarah Taylor is a lap down. Oh, but Billy Kidd also goes wide as well. So that's going to hurt him more than it will Eli Bright. And that will open up a fight for the 2nd position. Kelsey Higdon trying to get to the inside. And there's Michael DeFeo on the 33, potentially trying to make a charge. Coming off of 4, Kidd barely holds on for that 2nd position. And DeFeo on that 33 looking to try to make a charge here. He's going to go to the outside, but he goes almost up against the wall as they came off of turn number 4, and he's going to lose some ground to the fight for 2nd. That's between Higdon and Kidd. Coming off of turn 2, back down into the third corner. Bradley Ream, who spun to bring out what has been our only caution so far, wound up making a pit stop. Finally making his pit stop, and he's recovered quite nicely. Currently running in the 7th position. Currently scored 7th. Trying to go after Wyatt Walker for the 6th position. Heading through turns 3 and 4. We're inside of 10 laps to go. Eli Bright currently has a 4, almost now a half a second lead over new second place Kelsey Higdon in the 15. Both drivers trying to search for their first wins here in the WRLA. Kelsey Higdon is going full-time in the NOS Energy Cup Series in 2027. Now, that plan was initially for 2021. But now those plans are finally going to come to fruition in 2027. But here for tonight, she may have a shot at getting her first win in the Menard Truck Series. Just under 0.4 of a second on Eli Bright. Trying to close in even more. Sarah Taylor being a really great teammate. Trying to keep that 0-2 pinned on the high side. Here comes Kelsey Higdon. Trying to get back down, or trying to get to the inside of the 0-2 of Bright. And she's going to draw up alongside potentially, but Bright with the run on corner exit. But Sarah Taylor keeping him in check. 5 fingers in the air, 5 laps to go. Michael DeFeo in the 33 has entered the chat as he moves up into the 3rd position. Now going to try to go after Kelsey Higdon for the runner-up spot. Higdon trying to keep the 33 at bay. So far, doing a very nice job of doing that. 4 laps to go from here at Jukasa Motor Speedway. Bright trying to hang on with Sarah Taylor trying to keep that SO2 pinned to the high side, but Bright clears the 5 momentarily, and that's the thing I think that Eli Bright needed to do. 3 laps to go. Higdon now trying the outside, but I think it's going to be too little too late. As Eli Bright comes around the 4th corner, it'll be 2 laps of racing to go for Eli Bright. Eli Bright has been performing pretty consistently all year thus far, but he's been relatively quiet. I think once we begin the second half of this Menard Truck Series season, he's definitely going to be pretty loud. White flag, 1 lap to go from here in Jukasa. 2/3 of a second is the difference between him and Kelsey Higdon. And coming through turns 3 and 4 now, we finally are going to be able to say it after 6 years. Eli Bright is a WRLA winner, and it comes here in Jukasa. First career win in the WRLA Menard Truck Series for Eli Bright, and it comes here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. Big congratulations to Eli Bright. Coming home in 2nd is Kelsey Higdon. Then in 3rd is Michael DeFeo in truck number 33. He finishes in P3. With Chris Reynolds finishing in 4th, Billy Kidd rounds out your top 5. Wyatt Walker will come home in the 6th position. Liam Davis, a great, fantastic recovery for our Indiana Bash winner. He comes home in the 7th position with Bradley Ream in 8th. Max Anderson in 9th, and Bruno Diacomo rounding out your top 10. Take a look at from positions 11th all the way down to 28th. Everybody pretty much had finished on the lead lap. And all until you get on down to the 29th position, at least 30th on down to 33rd with Sarah Taylor, Sam Oskin, Elijah Gordon, and Noah Shastow all finishing 1 lap down. But what a race here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. A lot of drivers did get trapped on the tail end of the lead lap, but if you are drivers like Eli Bright or Kelsey Higdon, DeFeo, Reynolds, Billy Kidd, Wyatt Walker, anybody that was within the 3 to 4 second bracket, you pretty much were contesting for a top 10 position or even the win at that. And Eli Bright comes through and delivers for his first career win in the WRLA and his first win in the Menards Truck Series altogether. And who knows? I mean, again, we don't know what the future holds for a lot of these drivers. Some of them may return to the Menards Truck Series. Some of them may go up to Xfinity. Some may go up to Cup. You never quite know what things are going to look like heading into 2027. But now for the Menards Truck Series, we have 7 races to go in the season. So things are definitely heating up here for the WRLA Menards Truck Series. And as far as heating up tomorrow night, as I've mentioned, we're going to be going NOS Energy Cup Series racing on the road course at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. That's definitely going to be fun. Qualifying kicks off at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the WRLA YouTube channel, with the racing at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live right here on Twitch. I want to thank you guys so much for watching WRLA Menards Truck Series Racing from the Jukasa Motor Speedway. If you guys are brand new, be sure to hit the follow button so you don't miss a future stream and future WRLA content all throughout the 2026 year. And that's on the Twitch side. But if you're watching on YouTube, if you like what you see, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to consider subscribing to the WRLA YouTube channel so you can keep up with some fine WRLA content all throughout the 2026 season. One more time, congratulations to Eli Bright on getting the job done here at the Jukasa Motor Speedway. Your points will be coming your way in the Discord momentarily after this premiere concludes over on the WRLA YouTube channel. Have yourself a fantastic night, everybody. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you all tomorrow night for WRLA NOS Energy Cup action from the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. This WRLA telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without any authorized written consent of 11 Broadcasting. WRLA would like to thank all of our loyal fans for their continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.